Imagine holding a single penny in your hand. It feels so ordinary, so common, that most of us wouldn't give it a second glance. But what if I told you that one tiny coin, a 1-cent piece minted in 1968, could secretly be worth up to $800,000 today? That means life-changing money sitting quietly in someone's pocket, jar of spare change, or old family coin collection. The shocking truth is that most people have no idea what they're holding. And this is where the story of the 1968 mint marked Lincoln penny begins. So, what makes this coin so special? The answer lies in a combination of history, mistakes, and the tiniest details that the naked eye might miss. In 1968, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies at different locations. The San Francisco Mint, marked by the letter S, created proof coins that were never meant for general circulation. Proof coins are struck with a mirror-like finish, sharp details, and intended mostly for collectors. But here is where things get fascinating. Some of these coins display unusual variations, errors, and doubling effects on the letters and date. These mistakes, rare as they are, turned an ordinary cent into one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatics. Before I reveal exactly how to spot one, let me ask you this. How many times have you tossed spare change into a drawer without even looking? How many times have you walked past the chance at an unexpected fortune simply because it looked like a plain old penny? This is the danger of overlooking the small things. And this is why you must know what to look for. Now, here is the cliffhanger. Among the 1968 proof pennies, there exists a version with what collectors call a double die obverse. This means that when you look closely at the inscriptions, especially the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust," you can see clear doubling. It almost looks like a shadow or a second image layered right on top of the letters. To an untrained eye it may look like a blur, but to a coin expert it's the equivalent of spotting gold. And here's the kicker. Without magnification, most people miss it entirely. So why does this error make the coin so valuable? Think about supply and demand. Out of the millions of coins minted, only a tiny handful carry this error. That scarcity, combined with collector demand, drives the price sky high. We're talking not just a few $100s, not even a few thousand, but hundreds of thousands. Let's pause for a surprising fact. The highest recorded sale for a 1968 double die obverse penny reached nearly $800,000 at auction. Imagine the heart-stopping moment when the seller realized their 1-cent coin had the power to buy a luxury home outright. And this isn't some urban legend. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have documented these jaw-dropping sales. Now here's the part where fear of missing out kicks in. Because every day, coins are slipping through people's hands unnoticed. Someone might have spent one of these pennies at a gas station, or it may be sitting right now at the bottom of an old coffee can in your garage. So how do you check? First, focus on any penny dated 1968 with an S mint mark right beneath the date. If it is a proof coin, it will have a shiny mirror-like background. Under magnification, study the inscriptions. Look for doubling in liberty and in God we trust. If you see clean separation, like a second set of letters faintly overlapping the first, you may be staring at a life-changing discovery. Now, imagine this scenario. You've just pulled a coin from your late father's coin album or from your grandmother's collection. You notice that tiny S beneath the date. You grab a magnifying glass and suddenly see it. The doubling is there. Your heart races, your palms sweat, because you realize you are holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. And here's another cliffhanger for you. Even if your penny isn't worth hundreds of thousands, certain high-grade proof 1968 pennies without the doubling still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars if they are in pristine condition. That means this isn't an all-or-nothing game. Checking your coins could still reward you generously. Experts agree that coin collecting is one of the few hobbies where knowledge directly translates into wealth. The more you know, the more opportunities you have to spot hidden gems. Think about it. People spend years buying lottery tickets hoping for a chance at luck. Yet many of us already own coins that could deliver the jackpot if we just paid closer attention. So what can you do right now? Gather your coins, especially proof sets from the late 1960s. Take out every penny dated 1968 with an S mint mark. Examine them carefully under a strong light or magnifier. If you find anything unusual, consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. That one step could transform a forgotten penny into a life-altering payday. Remember, time is not on your side. With every passing year, fewer of these coins remain in circulation, and prices keep climbing as collectors compete to own them. Don't let the opportunity slip by while others cash in. So take action today. Check your change, check your jars, check the old boxes you haven't opened in years. That small copper coin you've been ignoring could be your ticket to financial freedom. And if you want to learn more about rare coins that could put real money in your pocket, make sure to subscribe for more tips. The next treasure might already be waiting for you. Not a rare gold coin, not a silver dollar, but a simple copper penny from 1985. Most people toss it aside without a thought, but what if I told you that one of these ordinary-looking coins has sold for as much as $794,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that could be worth more than a house, more than your car, even more than some people's retirement savings. And the most shocking part? You might already have one sitting in a jar at home. Now here's the mystery. This special 1985 penny has no mint mark. At first glance, it looks just like any other coin you've seen thousands of times. Smooth, brownish red copper, Lincoln's familiar face. But hidden in plain sight is an error that collectors are desperate to own. And that tiny missing detail is what makes it worth nearly $800,000. Before we dive deeper, pause for a moment and think. How many times have you let pennies slip through your hands without a glance? How many times have you dumped them into change jars or cash registers? What if one of those pennies was the rare one you needed? That thought alone should give you chills. So let's peel back the history of this incredible coin. In 1985, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents. Most came with a small mint mark beneath the date, showing where the coin was struck. A D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia. But here's the twist. While Philadelphia cents usually lack a mint mark, certain 1985 pennies show unique die errors, striking variations, and even double dies that make them dramatically more valuable. Collectors have discovered subtle differences in the way Lincoln's face was stamped, in the lettering, and in the sharpness of the rim. Some coins appear slightly off-center, while others reveal doubling in the word liberty or the motto "In God We Trust." These details may sound minor, but in the world of coin collecting, they can mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here's a cliffhanger for you. Imagine sifting through your old change and spotting a penny from 1985. You notice there's no mint mark. Your heart races. Could this be it? How do you know if it's just a common cent or one of the rarest treasures in circulation today? To identify the true gem, you need to check the condition first. Mint state coins with no scratches, no heavy wear, and sharp details carry the highest premiums. Grading services like PCGS and NGC can certify the value, and if you happen to have a flawless specimen with an error, the price skyrockets. Serious collectors and auction houses compete fiercely for these, driving the bids higher and higher. Now, why is this penny considered so valuable? It's not just about rarity. It's about the story it tells. Errors like this slip through only once in a great while, making them time capsules of imperfection. And when something so small, so ordinary, suddenly becomes a golden ticket, it captures our imagination. Everyone loves the idea of striking it rich by chance, of turning pocket change into a life-changing fortune, and the proof is in the sales. In recent years, top-grade 1985 no-mint mark pennies have shocked experts at major auctions. One flawless piece sold for hundreds of thousands, with estimates pushing it close to the $794,000 mark. Stories like this fuel excitement and push more people to search their change. Here's another surprise. Some experts believe more of these coins are still out there. Maybe sitting in an old coffee can in someone's garage, maybe tucked away in a piggy bank, maybe even hiding in your wallet right now. The thought of that is enough to make anyone double-check their pennies tonight. So let me ask you. Will you be the one to find it, or will you let it slip by while someone else cashes in on the opportunity of a lifetime? If you want my advice, start looking now. Pull out that old coin jar, scan every penny from 1985, and don't ignore the ones without mint marks. If you see one in perfect condition, do not spend it. Protect it, get it graded, and you could be holding a fortune. The window of opportunity is open, but it will not last forever. As more collectors hunt these coins down, fewer will remain in the wild. Every day you wait is another chance slipping away. So here's your call to action. Go check your change. You have nothing to lose and potentially everything to gain. And if you want more tips on how to spot rare coins that could transform your financial future, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. The next story I share might just lead you to the discovery that changes your life forever. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that most people would toss in a jar or spend without a second thought could be the key to life-changing money. The 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is one of the rarest hidden treasures in American coin history. And the shocking part is, it could be sitting right in your pocket right now. Most of us think wealth comes from hard work, long hours, or winning the lottery. But sometimes, fortune hides in the smallest details. This penny proves it. For years, people have spent it without knowing they were giving away a small fortune. Why is this one coin so valuable? And how can you tell if you might have one? Let's dive into the story. Back in 1991, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln cents. Most of them were made in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, these coins have mint marks showing where they were made. But something unusual happened in 1991. A tiny mistake, a missing mint mark, turned a regular coin into a rarity that collectors would fight over. Now, here's the cliffhanger. You might think, so what? A missing letter? How could that possibly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, the truth is, collectors value rarity above almost anything else. And when a coin like this slips through the cracks of history, it becomes priceless to the right buyer. Let's break down the details so you know exactly what to look for. The coin features Abraham Lincoln on the front, just like every other penny since 1909. On the reverse, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial. What sets this one apart is the missing mint mark. Instead of a small D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, the space is completely blank. At first glance, you might not even notice. That is why so many people have overlooked it for years, but the story gets even better. Experts say that not only the missing mint mark but also certain die errors, small cracks, and doubling on the letters can dramatically increase the value. So if you find a 1991 penny with unusual markings, don't just dismiss it. You could be holding a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Think about it. How many times have you dumped out your change after grocery shopping? How many jars of pennies are sitting in attics, basements, or tucked away in drawers across America? The odds are that some of these jars contain rare coins that could change lives. It almost feels like a modern treasure hunt hiding in plain sight. Now here's a fact that surprises even experienced collectors. One of these 1991 no-mint mark pennies sold for close to $788,000 at auction. Imagine being the person who found it, perhaps in spare change, and walked away with enough money to pay off a mortgage, buy a new car, or even retire early. This is why experts always say, never overlook your small change. So how can you check your coins? First, grab any 1991 pennies you have and examine them under good light. Look closely at the area beneath the year on the front of the coin. If there's no D or S mint mark, you may have found something rare. But don't stop there. Look for doubling in the letters of liberty or in God we trust. Check for die cracks or other unusual features. Even small errors can add significant value. The fear of missing out is real here. Because once these coins are discovered and sold, the available supply shrinks, and the value climbs even higher. Every day, people are spending these pennies without knowing their worth. The question is, will you let yours slip through your fingers? Or will you be the one to notice and claim your share of history? And here's another cliffhanger. Experts believe that not all of these pennies have been found yet. In fact, many are still in circulation. That means someone watching this video could literally find one tomorrow. Imagine how your life could change with just a single coin. Auction houses confirm that serious collectors are paying record prices. Coin experts warn that as more people become aware of this rarity, competition will only increase. Right now, you have an edge because you know what to look for. So, the next time you reach for change, slow down. Check every penny. Pay attention to the details. Because what looks ordinary could be extraordinary. Wealth doesn't always come from where we expect. Sometimes, it's hiding in plain sight, waiting for the person wise enough to recognize it. If you want to secure your future, start with what's already in your home. Dig through those jars of coins. Revisit the old coffee can in the garage. Who knows? The key to a new chapter of your life could be waiting there, disguised as a simple penny. If this story inspired you, take action today. Begin checking your coins before it's too late. And if you want more tips on how to spot and sell valuable coins for maximum profit, make sure to subscribe. Your financial breakthrough might be closer than you think. After all, history has already proven it. Sometimes 1 cent is all it takes to change everything. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought it was worth almost nothing? What if I told you that a single 2001 Lincoln penny, missing one tiny detail, could be worth more than a luxury home, even up to $755,000? That little coin sitting in your pocket or in a jar on the dresser could change your life. Most people spend it without a second thought, but those who know what to look for can uncover a fortune hiding in plain sight. Let's begin with the mystery. The United States has produced billions of pennies, and because we see them every day, we tend to overlook them. They feel ordinary, even boring. But tucked away in that sea of copper-colored change lies a mistake, an error so rare that collectors will pay unimaginable sums of money to own it. This is the 2001 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny. And that is what makes it so dangerous to ignore. How many of these coins have passed through your hands without you realizing it? To understand why this penny is special, we need to step back and look at its history. In 2001, the U.S. Mint was striking Lincoln pennies in several locations. Each mint adds its own mark, usually a tiny letter under the year. For example, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But due to a rare production error, some pennies left the mint with no mark at all. On the surface, this might not sound dramatic. After all, it is just a missing letter. But in the world of coin collecting, missing marks are like missing puzzle pieces. They transform an ordinary penny into a treasure. Collectors call these varieties key errors, and they are prized because they are both accidental and extremely hard to find. Think about it this way. Billions of pennies were made in 2001. Only a handful slipped through without that tiny mint mark. Imagine trying to find a single grain of sand on the beach. That is why these coins are so valuable, but how do you identify one? Start with the basics. Take any 2001 Lincoln penny and hold it under a good light. Look right beneath the year. Normally, you would see a small D or perhaps an S. But if the space is completely blank, no mark at all, you might just be holding one of the rarest modern pennies ever discovered. Check the overall condition too. Collectors love coins that are sharp, clean, and free of scratches. A well-preserved penny with no mint mark can skyrocket in value compared to one that is worn down. Here is a cliffhanger for you. Some of these 2001 no mint mark pennies have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. But one coin, in pristine condition, shocked the entire numismatic world by reaching a value of more than $755,000. That is not a typo. A coin you would normally toss into a parking meter was suddenly worth more than most retirement savings accounts. Can you imagine that moment when the auctioneer's hammer came down? Now you might be asking, why would anyone pay that much for a penny? The answer lies in rarity and demand. Coin collectors, especially those chasing what are known as holy grail errors, will pay enormous sums to complete their sets. These coins represent not just money, but history, mystery, and the thrill of owning something almost nobody else has. It is like holding lightning in a bottle. Here is something that might surprise you. The U.S. Mint does not always admit when mistakes slip through. Some errors are documented, others are quietly ignored. That means there could be more hidden treasures in circulation right now, waiting to be discovered. And yes, that means it could be in your pocket change today. When was the last time you really looked at your coins? Before I reveal some real auction numbers, let me give you a quick tip. If you want to be sure about what you have, consider using a magnifying glass and even weighing your coin. Authentic rare pennies often have very subtle differences in weight or surface details. And if you think you have a winner, always consult a professional coin grading service. Their certification can multiply your coin's value instantly. Now back to those sales. In recent years, collectors have gone wild for this 2001 no mint mark penny. Coins in average condition have sold for thousands of dollars, while mint state versions have commanded prices that sound more like luxury cars than pocket change. Experts believe that as fewer of these coins remain in circulation, the prices will only go up. Think about that. A coin you find today for 1 cent could be worth far more tomorrow if the market keeps climbing. Do you feel the urgency yet? Imagine telling your friends that you funded a vacation, paid off debt, or even upgraded your home, all thanks to a single penny you almost overlooked. Stories like this have already happened. Ordinary people just like you have cashed in on coins they once ignored. And experts agree, the biggest mistake you can make is not checking your change at all. What if you spend your fortune at the gas station tomorrow without realizing it? So here is my final cliffhanger for you. Somewhere right now, a 2001 penny without a mint mark is sitting unnoticed in someone's wallet, purse, or coin jar. It could be waiting in your own home. Will you be the one to find it, or will you let it slip away into circulation again? The message is simple. Check your pennies. Shine a light on them, inspect that date, and look closely under the year. A single moment of curiosity could change your financial future. Stay alert, stay inspired, and never underestimate the smallest coin in your hand. Because sometimes, the tiniest things hold the biggest rewards. That if you found this video valuable, take a moment to subscribe. I will be sharing more tips on rare coins that can turn everyday change into real wealth. Do not let these opportunities pass you by. Your next fortune could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now. But what if I told you that very same penny could secretly be worth more than $400,000 today? That's right, a coin so small and ordinary, one that most people overlook, could hold the power to change your life. The truth is, millions of Americans walk around with this hidden treasure every single day and never even realize it. So what is this mysterious coin? It is the 2017 Lincoln 1-cent penny with the P mint mark. At first glance it looks like any other penny. Copper-coated, small, familiar. But here's where the story gets fascinating. For over 100 years, no penny ever carried the letter P. Then in 2017, to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint, they decided to do something bold. For the very first time in history, they placed a P on the Lincoln cent to represent Philadelphia. It seemed like a small gesture, but it created a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. Think about it. Billions of people handled these coins without giving them a second thought. Kids spent them on candy. Adults tossed them in vending machines. Yet hidden among those ordinary transactions are coins that collectors now fight over. Why? Because some of these 2017 P pennies carry errors, unique marks, or are in pristine uncirculated condition. And when rarity meets demand, values skyrocket. Now here's the cliffhanger. Not all 2017 P pennies are created equal. The average one may only be worth a few dollars. But certain versions, with the right errors or conditions, have already sold for staggering amounts. Some collectors are paying tens of thousands. And one record price touched an incredible $420,000. Just imagine, that little coin you ignored in your pocket change could secretly be a ticket to financial freedom. Let's dig deeper into what makes this coin so special. The first thing you need to check is the mint mark itself. Look for that small P under the date 2017 on the front side of the coin. If it's there, you've got the right coin. Next, look closely at Lincoln's face, the words Liberty, and the motto In God We Trust. On some coins, doubling errors can be seen. The letters might appear shadowed, stretched, or slightly misaligned. These are the varieties collectors crave. Then turn the coin over. The reverse design of the Union Shield can also carry errors like extra lines or misstrikes. To the untrained eye these may look like imperfections, but to coin experts they mean huge value. Another tip. Condition matters more than most people realize. A circulated penny with scratches and wear might bring a few dollars. But one kept in flawless condition, with no marks, shining as if it just left the mint, can fetch life-changing amounts at auction. Here's a surprising fact that throws people off. Even though the mint produced more than 4 billion of these 2017 P pennies, only a tiny fraction are valuable. Think about lottery tickets. Millions are printed, but only a few win the jackpot. The same idea applies here. The treasure is hidden, and only those who know how to look will find it. Now let's bring in real-life proof. Recently, several 2017 P pennies in high grades sold for thousands of dollars at major coin auctions. Collectors are paying insane premiums because they understand the historical significance of this coin. One lucky owner, who kept his penny untouched since 2017, walked away with enough money to buy a brand new car, just from a single cent. And experts believe values will keep climbing as time goes on, because these coins represent a once-in-history design. So what does this mean for you? It means that every jar of pennies in your home could be hiding a small fortune. Every handful of change at the grocery store could contain a life-changing secret. And the longer you wait to look, the more chances slip through your fingers. Because right now, thousands of people are already searching. Collectors, treasure hunters, and even everyday families are cashing in. The question is, will you be one of them, or will you let the opportunity pass you by? Here's the final cliffhanger. Somewhere out there, another pristine 2017 penny is waiting to be discovered. It could be in your wallet right now. And if you don't check, you'll never know what you've missed. So take action today. Grab your change, pull out those 2017 pennies, and look for the mint mark. Study them carefully, because one small detail could be the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is your chance to turn pocket change into wealth, to uncover the treasure most people will never notice. If you want more tips on finding rare coins and turning them into serious money, make sure you subscribe. That way, you'll always be ahead of the crowd, ready for the next big discovery. Your financial breakthrough might just be one coin away.